Hey friends, welcome back to the Handyman Journey YouTube channel, where our mission is to help you discover freedom, equip leaders, and change the status quo of the handyman industry. So if any of that sounds amazing to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and subscribe to this channel for more awesome content. Today's video is going to be great. We're going to be talking about the 5 ways to make sure that you meet and exceed clients' expectations on the jobs. These are really creating a systems and a process in your business that will make sure that you are satisfying your clients every single time you go out and do that job. All right, we're gonna jump right into it here. Number 1 is you want to have the client walk you through the job before you get started. Even though you might have met the client for the original estimate and they've walked you through and they showed you the things and you've given an estimate for those items, maybe you've talked to them on the phone a lot, but when you actually go there to perform the job, you want to make sure you have one final walkthrough where they show you every single thing that they want done that day, as if you didn't have an estimate or anything like that. They are going to literally show you every single thing that they have an expectation of you to fix, repair, or replace that day. And it's very important for this specific reason, because oftentimes people will show you something that they thought they talked to you about, but they never actually did talk to you about. And if they show you that and you don't mention anything, you then feel obligated or obliged to do that repair and then hopefully talk to the client after the repair is done and be like, oh, by the way, that repair there, that toilet you showed me wasn't on the original estimate, but I went ahead and fixed it. Here's your price. That creates a lot of problems when you, at the end of the job, just automatically present a client with a new price that they didn't know up front. So it's very important to have a walkthrough with the client for 2 different reasons. One, because they get to actually see the actual progress of the job before anything happens to it, right? So say it's a sticking door, right? They can physically see that this door does not close. You can actually show them this door does not close. So later, when you do a walkthrough with them, at the end of the job, they'll see, oh man, this door closes and opens smoothly. No dragging whatsoever. There's a big difference. They see that big difference. And then the second reason is if they pinpoint any items that they want you to work on that aren't on the original estimate, that is the time when you need to stop. You need to talk to the client and you need to tell them straight up, ma'am, I would love to do this project for you, although it's not on the original estimate, but we do have time to do that today, and this is going to be the price. Always, always, always be upfront with price. Make sure that they know exactly what something's going to cost them before you actually get started on it. This also goes for if you're doing a job and say you open up a wall and it turns into more work. It's going to take you another hour, it's going to take you another half hour, or it's going to take another $15 part to fix it. Stop the job right there, talk to the client, and be upfront with them about the costs that obviously we didn't know about before, but we now know about them. We want to make sure we talk about that with the client first before we get started, so that there's nothing unspoken that comes up at the end of the day that is maybe a shocker to you or them. Very, very important, because if you don't meet these expectations, the client is going to have a very bad taste in their mouth and they're not going to want to hire you again. So it's very important to make sure that you do all of these things correctly on the front end so that the client has the best experience possible. The second thing that you need to do to make sure that you meet the client's expectation is when you come to the door, be prepared to put booties on or put tidy tracks on. When you're gonna walk in their house, I've even set down my tidy tracks right when I enter someone's house, and they're like, oh, you don't need to wear those. And it's like, you just, no, this is company policy. I need to wear these because this is company policy. This is what we do. That is going to have an unspoken communication with them that'd be like, wow, this guy really cares. Like, this guy cares, even though I told him like he doesn't need to worry about that. But he cares so much about my house. He might even care more about my house than me. And that is absolutely fantastic. The clients, that's going to speak a long way. It's going to go a long way for your reputation with that client, and also with the other people that client talks with throughout the week. The number 3 thing that you need to do to make sure that you have proper communication and meet the expectations of the client is to have communication during the work that you are doing. There's a few things that you definitely need to communicate when you're actually doing a job. For instance, if you're doing a ceiling fan, you're gonna need to, stop and ask them which way would they like the ceiling fan blades to be. Do they want the brown facing up? Do they want the brown facing down? If you're installing a chandelier, how long do you want this chain? And a little side note on that, make sure that you double and probably triple check with the client before you cut a chandelier cord or a chandelier chain. Make sure you can hold it up there and be like, are you positive that this is the height you want it? Because if they're not, you could definitely be cutting stuff and there's no going longer with some of that stuff. You're kind of stuck with the height that you choose. You can always go shorter, but you can't always go longer. So you need to make doubly sure before damaging or cutting or altering any material that a client has gotten that they are 100% positive with where they want that material, i.e. chandelier or things like that. And also, if you're installing can lights, double check and also triple check before you cut any holes in the ceiling or in the walls. You want to make sure that things are exactly where they want them. Do whatever you can do to make a best visual impression of, this is how it's going to look, when we're all done. Is this 100% good before you actually cut a hole? Because once you cut that hole, you can go back, but it's a whole heck of a lot harder to go back than it would be, to not cut the hole and maybe move it over an inch or whatever, before you actually cut the hole. Another really huge thing that I've noticed is informing clients when you need to shut the water off or the power off in the house. Just, being straight up with them and asking them, hey, I'm gonna need to shut the water off. Is right now a good time? Do we have the wash done? The shower's done. No one needs to wash their hands. Is it good? Sometimes people might say, oh yeah, let the wash finish. It'll be done in about 15 minutes and then we'll be good to go, or whatever it is. And then also having good communication when you turn that water back on. I think one huge thing is just letting the client know. Say, hey, just so you know, Mrs. Jones, I turned the 2 water faucets on, upstairs. I'm gonna leave those on. I'm gonna go turn the water on. So when the water comes on, you're gonna hear gush water through the pipes because it's a 2-story house, but you're also gonna be hearing water coming out of those faucets. Completely normal, no pipes have bursted. I left those open to relieve the pressure, so do not be alarmed. Because one time I was at a client's house, I turned the water back on and they were just freaking out because they heard water going in their bathroom right when I turned the water on, and they thought that the repair that I just did had bursted, right? I don't even remember what it was, replacing an angle stop valve or something like that. But at the end of the day, that was not the case and it was all fine, but having that kind of communication is really key and really helps and goes a long way. And another piece of communication to do while you are on a job is to make sure that you inform the client about caulking, right? Caulking needs to cure, caulking needs to be left untouched with no water on it for however long that that manufacturer has depicted that needs to happen. You need to be very clear about that, because if you do recaulk a bathtub or a shower and they end up using it right away, it's going to really void the warranty. It's going to make the caulking look horrible. We're going to have to come back out. We're going to have to do another job. We're going to have to charge them again. Whatever it is, whatever your warranty looks like, you want to make sure that you are upfront with all of that information and let them know that, hey, we just recaulked the kitchen sink. It'd be great if you didn't use that until tomorrow morning, or whatever it is. But you need to be upfront and have clear expectations and set clear guidelines for things like that. All right, the number 4 thing that you need to do to make sure that you have proper communication and meet your client's expectation is to have a walkthrough at the end of the job with the client. This is really cool, coupled with the beginning walkthrough, because at the beginning, like we said, they are experiencing that door that just won't shut, or that toilet that won't flush correctly, or that light switch that doesn't work. Whereas now with this secondary at the end walkthrough, they are experiencing these things fixed, and you actually get to walk through with them and see the excitement on their face in when they close that door and it closes perfectly, and they're like, this hasn't closed right in 5 years. Or when that toilet flushes or that toilet no longer makes noise, like they're like, wow, this has been bugging me like crazy, and I thank you so much for fixing it. It's also a really great idea, rather than you just going through and operating things, like if it's a door that's hard to close or hard to open, have the client, say, can you go ahead and operate this door, just because I know that I could do it. I just want to make sure that it's good for you. Because, i.e., sometimes when you put in, new weather stripping, push in weather stripping on a front door, the front door might be a little bit harder to open and close. And although it might be good for you, or how to operate that, the client, it's different than the way that they used to operate it. And they may, if you don't walk through with them and have them actually operate it, they may give you a call back the next day and say, hey, this door is not opening. Right? And they may not know that you need to use a little extra force until that weather stripping kind of wears in a little bit. You need to make sure that you have proper communication with the clients and that they know and that they are okay with every single thing that you've done before you leave their house. And also let them know, reassure them that if they have any questions whatsoever, give us a call. We will come right out and we will take care of what needs to be taken care of. These are very important things because, again, you want to have proper communication so that you meet your client's expectations and you gain that referral that they have, because everyone knows a lot of people, and that one person that you're working for, if you leave a good impression with them, they're going ahead and they're going to tell probably 5 to 7 of their best friends about your service that might actually use you. And guess what? Those people know more people too, and those people know more people too. So it's really like a web that continues going. So these kinds of little details really matter and really turn into big wins down the road. The number 5 thing that you need to do to make sure that you meet your client's expectations is follow up, okay? I love the saying, the fortune is in the follow-up. So if you don't have a fortune yet, you need to follow up some more. I would highly recommend you follow up with every single client that you do work for at least 2 weeks after the job is done. 1 to 2 weeks after the job is done, follow up with them, see how everything's going, see how that door's shutting, see how that toilet's working, whatever it is. You need to follow up, you need to see how these people are doing. And then I would also recommend to touch base with those people, maybe even once a quarter. Just let them know that you're here, give them a call, see if they need anything done, see if they have any questions, see how the job that you did for them is working. This kind of customer service is really unheard of. So one of our core values is changing the status quo, right? This is something that handyman have never done. So this is something that the new age professional handyman is doing in following up with their clients, making sure that people are taken care of. We're not just doing the work, getting paid and getting out of there. We are actually looking to create a great mutually beneficial relationship where that we can take care of these people and we can actually care for these people, because at the end of the day, they're going to take care of us, they're going to care for us through the paycheck for paying us for the work. We want to take care of them and make sure that we cherish that relationship. It is very, very, very important. So I hope you guys have liked this video of the 5 things that you need to do to meet your clients' expectations. If you want more information just like this, subscribe to this channel, and also check us out at handymanjourney.com. There's a whole bunch of great resources, a whole bunch of great business books on that website, as well as you can reach out to me and have a one-on-one phone consultation with me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Also, like it and subscribe. We'll catch you guys on the next video.